Hello, 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 and big warm welcome. May you feel my open, loving heart and the gratitude for you being here. And huge, massive thank you for diving deeper with this work and in the same time impacting the whole wide world with it. Every frequency, higher frequency we are stepping into, it is radiating into the whole wide world, impacting the whole wide world in the most beautiful and positive way. So thank you so much for being here and showing up for yourself and simultaneously for the whole wide world from a much higher perspective. So we are going to go into this training. I'm gonna go right away into the next slide. And I'm gonna make this training as potent as it's possibly is doable for me today with you because I respect your time. I also highly respect my own time. I appreciate you being here, and I also appreciate myself creating a training like that and sharing it with you. And I do believe that this style of work is on a love frequency. It isn't watering the message. It isn't to keep you here for 3 hours. It is based on love and expansion. So as soon as it is possible, you can grab the findings and the higher energy and the things that speak to you the most and take it with you and put it right away into the practice in your own world, in your own body, in your own soul mission, in your own purpose work. So I'm going to share with you briefly, quickly, who am I? And also, how can you get the most out of this training and how you can actually change everything with just one training, whether it's 20 minutes, 40 minutes, 1 hour, and just make this something that impacts you and your world around you in the highest possible way. So quickly and briefly, just to start it on, who actually am I? My name is Eliza Mozal. I am an energy mastery mentor, and I have been in this work starting with myself, working from the inside out and changing my whole life, my whole world, my whole expression for over 9 years now. Over 9 years ago, I found myself reaching my own personal rock bottom, where I just felt like I died inside. I felt like the amount of despair and depression and self-destruction that I was driven by what reached just absolute the highest, and I was unable to see tomorrow as possibility or opportunity that anything will be different. I couldn't stop drinking. I couldn't not drink when I didn't want to drink. I didn't know how to get myself out of it, and I didn't know how to live life without numbing myself with liquid substances, food, smoking, and other stuff I did over 9 years ago. And since then, I have never done anything like it. What I did in my specific case is that I followed the divine call that came through my heart from my higher power. How do I know it was a higher power? Because I asked it. I didn't ask anyone else. I went on my knees, crying my guts out and asking to take me or this, whatever it is, I am powerless over. It's like it has had big power over me to take this away because I cannot live like that any longer. And after about 45 minutes on the floor, on my knees, crying my guts out, back in Scotland, in my home that I was living in, I received the divine download. Go and ask for help and do every single thing that they tell you to do. And by every single thing I knew I felt internally, it meant that my old self is not gonna like what I will be asked to do. And I didn't. I did it anyway because my craving and desire for something new and different way of living was so much bigger. That was the moment when I became sick of being sick, became sick of being the person who creates that life. And I've just made a firm, solid decision, detached from the outcomes, that I'm going to change this, that nothing can be the same ever again. And for the last 9 years, I did absolutely nothing else but growth and expansion. There was so much fear, so much pain to release, so many old things, and I'm gonna speak a little bit about it here. But despite how terrifying, how challenging, how absolutely shattering internally to the old self it was, I did every single thing that was suggested. And that created and manifested the life beyond my wildest dreams, the life I didn't knew I'm actually capable and possible of creating, building, and manifesting. And this is what I have for you as a biggest possible message, that all of that is possible for you. I'm sharing with you who I am. I'm sharing with you what I experience, because I want you to know to the very core of your soul, to the very core of your being, so you can feel it right under your skin, that all of that is possible for you. And the same and higher, I'm going to repeat it, the same and higher results I have created together with my clients for my clients. That's the funny part, is that when I work with someone on similar stuff I was overcoming, it happens so much faster and they get higher results, because it's two of them for the same highest purpose, for the same higher goal, for the same higher intention, with a specific super high frequency guidance that I just became very good at. I found what are my genius points. I found what are my genius strengths, and I use them very actively in my programs, in my one-on-ones, in my coaching, in the videos, in the posts, and also in this training. And what I have created and my clients have created for themselves is life beyond my wildest dreams. I was born in Poland in 1981, in communism years, the last few communism years, never ever being taught to believe in myself, that there is something bigger and better for me. And I moved to British Islands when I was 23 without knowing English. I learned in the first 6 months from talking with people. My first job was in a shopping center, cleaning window doors. When you come into the center, there's like few entries to the big shopping center. I was washing these windows and hovering the carpets on the entry. And that was my job first. And then I just moved on and kept on growing and expanding. That was way before I started my internal journey. But I want you to know that they are within you right now, those genius characteristics that you have had with you all along the way. They're active within you and they're waiting to be unleashed. They're waiting to be seen, felt, and heard by you and also the whole wide world. They are waiting to be actively put in practice and expressed and worn with your pride, with your grace, with your gratitude, unapologetically showing them into whole wide world. Like, I'm sitting here with the brightest orange, high frequency, 100% organic cotton sweatshirt, because I love, absolutely love, to surround myself with high quality things. This is gold, and I love to wear it. And I allow myself to be the person who gifts myself the highest quality clothing, that it doesn't irritate my skin. I allow myself also to express my own soul color, which is orange. That's why you see my brand with a bright orange in it, and a little bit of blue, and a little bit of gold, and a little bit of black, because this is my unapologetic expression, and I want that for you. So I have created a life beyond my wildest dreams. I have paid off all of my debts in just one go with one click of a finger. I released working in 9 to 5 that no longer was working for me, and I dove all into my purpose work business from a place of passion and trusting my heart before I had the finances that would give me a ideology permission to do so. I met the love of my life. I regulated my nervous system so deeply that I reprogrammed my whole body and my muscle memory into having only beautiful and amazing memories with my dad and with my, it's just incredible what I have done. I created miracles after miracles. I crossed borders in the times of restriction when everything on the website said you cannot come in unless you're some kind of doctor who makes an open heart surgery on a president. I crossed the borders without breaking the law because I allowed my heart coherence to beam outside of me. onto the environment. It's just incredible the things that are possible for you. So the most you can actually get out of this training is by allowing yourself to ease into being present in your body, which is moving away from high beta brainwave state of being and moving into alpha brainwaves. You can do that by turning on 5-10 minute breath work and meditation that will help you center inside and move away from go-go mode. Okay, I did this, I did that. What am I gonna do after this training? When is she gonna finish talking? When am I gonna get the juice? When am I gonna go to the to do? That's all normal and natural. But you will get the most out of this training when you are aligning yourself with your highest genius first, which happens in alpha brainwave state of being, and away from high beta and survival and go, 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 and all of that. So if you need to turn this and pause this video for 2 minutes and center yourself, take a few deep breaths, do so. Let's do that together just for a second. For about a minute, let's just take a deep breath. Shrug your shoulders, move your body if that feels right, and just dive as fast as you can into the center of your chest, which is the seed and the throne of your heart chakra energy center. And allow yourself to breathe in 6-7 seconds in and 6-7 seconds out. So really slow and deep breaths. So majority of people, when they're asked, take a deep breath, they don't do it for unknown to me reason. I want you to actively take a breath that moves your body. So I want you to push yourself, force yourself for your greatest good to actually move that breath deeper and out so you can start changing the chemistry in your body. And again, and a few more times like that. And if you need to do that, maybe you're a very beginner in that, which is absolutely okay. You're more than welcome here. I want you to pause this video and do that for at least another 5 minutes. And when you are ready, come back, center yourself deeper, and just feel the activity of the chi within you, the activity of the life force, the light, the you, the soul, the moving, breathing life that is within you, that activates your heart and its systems, that regulates your nervous system, which regulates all of your hormones and all of your organs. Allow yourself to feel that aliveness within you, very subtle, very gentle. And when you are present and ready and in your body and at some level of ease, you can also shift your gaze with your eyes closed a little bit up and center it here, shift it here or here, and that will also place you in alpha brainwave states. And very slowly come back into the room without breaking the state. And this is the state where you are the most receptive to sense it through your own filter, discernment. Is this message for me? What is in this message for me that will change my whole life? And I promise when you will go into this training, all in depth, you will journal your soul and heart out with all of the questions and guidance. You will experience a profound shift as a result of implementing everything. 3, 4, 5, 6 months from now on, you will come back to me and you will tell me, Eliza, thank you so much for emotional intelligence training. It changed my whole life because I applied it, because I decided this is the training that I'm gonna use, and that's it. There is no more searching for another thing out there. This is the training that I'm choosing to implement 150% from now on. And I actually done that multiple times with other trainings. There was a training about abundance. I'm gonna give you an example. I think it was 22-minute free video, one of millions I like videos about what is the frequency of money and how to get more money. And what I did back then was absolutely crazy, because I've decided I will go into that video over and over again, and I will journal every single sentence and question, and I will embody every single sentence and question that this person shared in that video. What is your energy like? What do you feel about money? What are your dark thoughts about money? What is the disempowering beliefs that you received in your childhood from your mom, from your dad, from your environment, from yourself, and go all into it like a crazy person. And I didn't watch any other piece of content for at least 5 days. And all I did in those 5 days, apart from going into 9 to 5, was implementation of that, and journaling and meditating on it and breathing on it and walking in nature with it and implementing into my movement. I did this training. I did it. I did it. I moved it so deeply. I think about 3-4 months later, I created enormous abundance in my life, and it's just flooded me in abundance. And I created a whole new life for myself because I implemented many other things that I also did. I was working with a one-on-one coach. So, but I mastered that aspect that no one else could help me with apart from me implementing it. And I want you to do that for yourself. Okay, love. So let's move on. What is emotion? What is emotion? What is emotion? I'm gonna have a little sip. Probiotic soda. What a pleasure. Okay, my loves. So this is where many people have already embodied beliefs that they do not go into first before mastering their emotions, before leveling up in their emotional intelligence. And I want you to nail this part as much as it is possible. I want you to journal out, what do you believe there is emotion? I want you to also journal, what were you made to believe, which emotions are good, bad, which one you should feel, which one you shouldn't feel, which ones are bad for you to have or feel, right? Girls shouldn't be angry, okay? Just allow yourself and your heart to journal it out so there is more and more clarity. And let's remember, crystal clear clarity brings results. Crystal clear clarity brings money, brings results, brings best relationships, brings everything you want, dream, and desire. Crystal clear clarity. So the deeper you will go into looking within, in answering those questions, the more results you will be receiving. And I will also suggest for you to not turn on any other trainings, videos, another piece of content, another this, but master that to the core if you truly desire to release the state where you are feeling powerless over your own emotions. On some level, you are maybe feeling like all the emotions keep coming back and pulling you down. So if you desire to have a permanent shift and move the scale permanently in your life, do that as deep as you can. Now, come back to the video and let's talk about emotion. Emotion is energy in motion. Emotion is an energy that was designed to be in movement, in motion. The way I'm receiving, many of you know how far I allowed myself to go in my meditations and in my spiritual states, to the point of activating supernatural abilities. Okay, people call these gifts. I don't call them gifts because no one gave them to me. I tapped into it, and I believe every single person is capable of doing that when you're opening your pineal gland. So I tapped into being able to see the energies and also receive downloads from quantum field, which it isn't an empty space. It is overflowing with billions and billions and billions of information, data, thoughts, thought forms, and from all over the times, everything in this now moment available for you and me to access. And the way, I'm receiving information about emotions is constantly the same for the last 5 years. It never changed. It's the same information. Every emotion was designed to flow from your base root chakra through all of your energy centers and up and up and up. We will talk about when we process, release, and digest emotions in a healthy way a little bit later on. But for now, I want you to know that there is no such a thing as bad or wrong emotion. Our perception of it is disempowering or empowering. And I want you to start becoming super duper aware which perception and believe you have. And there is nothing wrong with it. If you are overflowing with limiting beliefs, I just want you to become aware of it. I come from an environment where I was overflowing with limiting beliefs and I was arguing for them all the time. That's no longer the case 99% of time, but it still happens here and there. And that's for me to work deeper onto for the rest of my days. And I'm okay with it today. I don't understand any longer as guilt and shame is something wrong. I understand it today as something that shows me where I am off my alignment, off my highest alignment. And it's like a navigation point that shows me, Eliza, no, you're off your track. Go back to it. I also started learning that every single emotion is energy created to be in motion, but through our upbringing, we were made to push down our emotions without allowing them to flow. I want you to see a child. The child is being angry because his boundaries are being overstepped. The child already has its own will, it has its own desires, and it knows intuitively through the divine intelligence of their cells that this is what they want to do. The child wants to right now express itself in joy and play and art, doesn't want to be sit down behind a desk for 7 or 8 or 9 hours and be told what to do. The child wants energy to flow, expanding its existence, expanding its soul's growth on every possible way. So the child wants to play, but it's being told to push down. So it creates an anger. It creates an anger where the child is, because every time you're overstepping boundaries, healthy or unhealthy boundaries, the anger comes up. And then the child is told that the anger is bad, that you shouldn't feel the anger. There is even a verse in the Bible that Neville Goddard talks about. Be angry, but do not sin. Express your anger in a healthy way. Gabor Mate talks about it in a beautiful way. There is such a thing as healthy anger because every single emotion is healthy. It was designed to be in motion and show you this is not in alignment with me, okay? This is not what you came here to do. So now that child is having this anger and his unexpressed self push down with time. And then we are growing up as adults to be numbed. We are learning how to numb even more ourselves with alcohol, drugs, sex. I did it through all of these aspects also, shopping, spending money I didn't earn yet, shaming myself, shaming others so I feel better in a very weird and hidden way, but actually I wasn't. So there is so many things I did in the past because I didn't know how to deal with the repressed emotions inside of me. And that's exactly what I reached my own personal rock bottom. And I couldn't be any more grateful for that. I couldn't be any more grateful also for every tear I have shed on my healing journey in those last over 9 years, because it marked my growth, my expansion, and my level of healing every single time. There was a moment on my journey when I chose I will no longer be crying as a victim. I'll be crying as a release, as a form of releasing. And that changed a lot for me. So what is emotional intelligence? It is the ability, is a high skill and an ability that you can train yourself into or receive the training in which you are capable to map out the feelings and emotions you are experiencing right now, and they need to be felt, seen, heard, expressed, discharged, and released so they can flow. And being able simultaneously to recognize, is the emotion I'm feeling right now is an old emotion trapped in my body because I didn't express them or release them in my past, or is this something that I'm bringing back, like a old feeling of shaming, right? That I'm bringing back because in the past I was addicted to it, okay? So being able, emotional intelligence is knowing how you feel. It's all internal work. It's knowing how you feel and how is that expressed into your environment. If you are in relationships or you have some challenging relationships, that is the best possible way to practice your emotional intelligence, because in our relationships, in our family upbringings, this is where is the fastest reaction mode, survival mode. These people, we have practiced for 10, 20 years with them in our home environment to press those emotional buttons and outburst. Today, if I'm experiencing frustration or I see a frustration coming towards me on a horizon, I remind myself right away, Eliza, just remember, you used to were addicted to frustration. Is this situation that you're seeing, experiencing, or perceiving right now actually the situation that is an excuse to refill the frustration, or can you change the perception of the situation into an empowered one, not be or feel frustrated? Or is there perhaps an old frequency of frustration trapped somewhere on a deeper level, and that situation perceived as frustrating brings me a divine opportunity for releasing that old trapped emotion from yet a deeper level? And that's emotional intelligence is. Emotional intelligence, it is also, I'm talking right now on different levels of emotional intelligence. The emotional intelligence is also the abilities to self-regulate yourself in a spot. It is the ability to self-regulate yourself in a spot. Let's say you're meditating for an hour and a half at the morning. You're diving into your highest state. You are your future self. You are in your purpose mission. You are expressing yourself boldly and unapologetically. Your message impacts the whole wide world in the best possible way. You're seeing that. You're paid in abundance for being you, not someone else, not copy of a copy or conditioned way of being, wear a blazer, wear a suit and tie, and when you don't want to, not that there is wrong with it, anything with it, but if you don't want to, you don't have to, right? And being able to see what you feel, how you feel, when you feel it, and self-regulate yourself if it is not in alignment with your highest purpose. Okay, so we are meditating, you are going into that state, you're seeing yourself, you're seeing your future, and you're still in that 9 to 5 you no longer want to be, but you know it is a process before you will step full time into your purpose work. So you go there, and 2 hours later, you are triggered by your boss or coworker or an email, right? Now, what is it that you're going to do about it? Before you're even triggered, can you catch yourself? That's really high level of emotional intelligence. Maybe you're catching yourself after you are boasted and you lashed out, and you still half an hour later feel that anger and frustration. If you feel any emotion for longer than 90 seconds, it is fabricated. It is not real. Dr. Joe Dispenza talks about it in a beautiful way. The chemistry of an emotion in the body lasts for up to 90 seconds, no longer. Anything after, it is addiction. It is creating, it is fabricating, and many different things. So if something happens, you have a response or the action, it's all healthy. Allow the energy to flow. But if you feel it longer than 90 seconds, you fabricate it, you create it, you hold on to it, or you're pushing down, or you don't feel it fully and entirely and strongly enough as it wants to be felt and expressed. Okay, so there are different levels of emotional intelligence, which is absolutely phenomenal and beautiful because it gives us the ever growth, the ever growth on this field. Now, you can be on the level where you catch yourself right away. You would be on the level when you catch yourself after your outburst, like I just started giving example, and I got sideways, and all of that is okay. Commit to ever growth, not perfection. And I promise you, you're going to go really, really, really far. Also, allow yourself to receive the tools that you require in order to do so. It's like expecting someone to walk, let's say, through the whole America when they need shoes without giving them shoes and water and sun protection, right? It's like allow yourself to have the tools required for that walk, for that growth, for that expansion, instead of expecting yourself to do it all on your own without the tools and support that we all need and require. So all different levels of emotional intelligence will be expressed in your life and in your freedom. And I'm going to step into that another one because I want to talk to you about the impact of emotional intelligence. So emotional availability in your life, on your life, relationship, and purpose work. So I want to talk about the impact of it. So the Every single one of us, whether we are aware of it or not, we're driven by emotions in every single action we take or not, in every single thing. If you will trace it down why you do something or don't do something, you will always go down to an emotion. And in majority of cases, it is going down into why the person stays stuck. And it would be an addiction towards a low frequency emotion and a hidden pleasure of refilling that, because it brain and the body mistakes familiar with safe or what's supposed to. Okay. If you will ask any high achiever or a millionaire or someone who created something absolutely phenomenal in their life, in their business, in their relationship, something that is just absolutely outstanding, they became so much more in love with the vision of what they're creating and feeling and refeeling and emotions that actually create, build, and manifest exactly what they desired or more. Okay. Now, every single person that wonders, oh my God, I'm meditating every single day, I'm journaling, I'm creating this, I'm being in my purpose work, I'm journaling about it, I'm thinking about it, I'm doing this type of work, and I don't see the results. You've got to always look at the emotions behind it. Most of people that say I'm doing everything, but I don't get results, they are not. They are not. They're doing lots of different things. They're leaking their energy, leaking their emotions, and keep on refilling all these empowering emotions of their past. The thing is that the universe cannot deliver to you what you want or desire until you are an expression of that energy. So the universe is always saying to you, yes, yes, yes. You're feeling internally, whether you're aware of it or not, unworthy, shameful, not good enough. You label this past thing in the past that happened to you as something you identified with it so much. That became a part of your identity. Now you're trying to create a loving, lasting, phenomenal relationships. You will not create from wanting some, you will create from the energy that's already within you. That's why this emotional intelligence work is so profound and it goes so far. If you desire to have your purpose work impact the whole wide world and create a whole next generation that is impacted by your work, you've got to wake up into that vision every single day and driven by it throughout your whole day. You no longer are obliged by, oh, you should rest for 12 hours a day. You should slow down. You're going too fast. You don't care any longer because you have that big mission. That's an example. There is many different ways to do it. I'm just giving you an example. You're just so obsessed and in love with that purpose that it doesn't matter that you don't see results for the first 5 or 10 years. All it matters is that you are in alignment with it. You are connected with your highest genius. You allow yourself to receive the support while you're supporting the world. You are doing the things you know they're necessary. And you see results slowly but surely, or quickly, rapidly, for everyone is different, but you see the results and you constantly improve. You constantly refine. There is no such a thing as doing right now things the way we did 10 years ago or 3 years ago and it's gonna work. Everything changes. What got you here will not get you there. So refinement, how deep and how big you go into refinement consistently every single day. Refinement of your messaging, refinement of your frequency, up leveling on every single possible way that expresses you as a vessel for your purpose work and the expression of your purpose work. So the impact of emotional intelligence is absolutely revolutionary. When you change the way you feel about yourself, you change the identity of you, and that identity of you creates what you desire. If you identify as someone who doesn't make money, you cannot create wealth, prosperity, and abundance. If you deep inside identify as a deeply worthy, abundant, loving, wealthy, phenomenal, high frequency multimillionaire. This is who you are, independently what the account shows you, independently how many clients you have or not. The only thing matters is that identity. You know it's connected with your openness, right? For me, for example, it means that I am in a divine union with higher power. It also means higher openness for the suggestion, refinement. There's no longer such a thing as arguing for my limitations and it's my way. There's no such a thing. Divine placed something on my path. My job is to right away apply it. I woke up this morning, before I opened my eyes, it said to me, you are recording this training. And you are recording it right now. A question came up from my higher self. How fast are you going to act on it? Are you going to wait another 3 days because you're doing different things today? Nope. I'm sitting down and I'm doing this higher work right now, not because I cannot wait for the end result, but because it is part of my purpose, because it is part of my soul mission, because it is huge, massive aspect of my purpose work, impacting you and your level of consciousness in the highest and most beautiful way. And what you're going to do with that, that's entirely up to you. And there is no judgment there. So the impact of emotional intelligence that you're practicing every single day, which is a higher awareness of how you think and how you feel about yourself, being deeply, deeply honest with yourself about yourself, is huge. Journal it out every single day, how you truly feel. What are the feelings and emotions you are experiencing? What is trapped within your body? And the most important thing, what are you don't want others to know about you? What do you want your coach, your mentor, your friends, your family, your lover, your future lover? What are the things you don't want them to know about you? What do you, people in your purpose work, your clients, if you are a coach, teacher, what do you don't want them to know about you? And journal every single shadow aspect of it. This is all your old mind is judging you for, and you're believing into it. And it's gonna keep on doing that. And you are gonna keep on shying away from observing that. And there will be a hidden pleasure over there. Now, this is a deep, deep, deep work. I'm not gonna get into it here and now because we don't have enough of time to do so. But this is deeply, deeply, deeply and profoundly and beautifully described in Emotional Intelligence Hybrid program. I've recorded this program that it was absolutely life-changing. The testimonies that came out of it, the results that those women created was just absolutely enormous. And I will give you an opportunity to join that recorded program and go and dive into it and binge it, every single recording from it at the end of this video. But for now, I want you to know that the impacts of your emotional intelligence are huge. I created abundance and wealth in my life through emotional intelligence. I created the best relationships of my life I never thought were possible for me. I keep falling in love with my beloved Andrea every single day more and more. I have goosebumps and chills going through my whole body right now when I talk about it. All of my energy systems are open and beaming. Last night, we had the best date ever together. Ever. Absolutely ever. It was so simple. It was so beautiful. I could feel my DNA relaxing and unwrapping. And I'm reading right now exactly the book about it. It's just absolutely incredible. It was simple, it was loving, it was present. We decided there is nowhere to go. It is just here and now, us enjoying ourselves in this like an outdoor part of a little like a restaurant shop. And we sat there for hours, absolutely hours, talking about how we feel, what we have just learned, implemented. What is our vision for the future? What do we are grateful for? What do we enjoy? What is the last thing we have heard that wowed us and why? I'm crying because I want you to have the same thing. And I allow myself to feel all of the emotions today. The less you feel, the more you are alive. Majority of people is walking dead. They feel a little bit happy, a little bit sad all the time. And I want you to feel all of your emotions and grow and expand. I want you to experience the most phenomenal, intimate, loving, safe, passionate, beautiful, fun, laughter relationship you can ever have. There is not even a day that we don't laugh like crazy together, crying into tears. And I am a provocateur of that. Why? Because this is what I desire. Because I cried so much in the past from sadness and being trapped in a victim mode. No more. So when we wake up, I'm always gonna crack a joke. I'm always gonna say something funny about us, about myself or Andrea or puppies or something or someone. It doesn't matter as long it's loving, healthy, and it's a laughter. And I want you to, oh my God, this just so touched because I want you to have this same. I want you, or more. I want you to start diving into all of your emotion. And I want you to remember that if you don't allow yourself to feel the guilt and shame that it got locked along the way in your body, you would not be able to feel that higher love you are craving. Because there is nothing wrong with that guilt and shame. And majority of it is not even yours to feel. You just accumulated it from your childhood. And the only thing you've got to do is go deep in this work, like emotional intelligence hybrid program, and release it. And move on into next chapter of your life where you no longer carry this huge amount of stuff, but you use guilt and shame as a navigation, like a compass. Oh, off the course. Oh, but return back to the course. It's like a plane. When the plane is flying in the air, it spends over 90% of time just returning back to its designed course. Oh, there is a wind, there is a current that blows offside. Oh, there is a wind. Oh, there is a wave that comes here with clouds. So the plane is constantly moved off the track, and the main thing the navigator pilot is doing is just putting the plane back on the course, back on the course, back on the course until they're at the destination. I'm still crying because it was so beautiful, so simple, so amazing. And what we did yesterday, it was like a whole soul cleansing experience. I was experiencing something challenging emotionally within my business. And I will talk about it when it's the right time and place for it. And I allowed myself to feel all of the heavy emotions that come with it, process them, release them, digest them. And then out of nowhere, I was just in this massive high. So the more you will allow yourself to feel everything that needs to be felt, seen and heard, the higher level of emotional state you would be able to access on a daily basis. So examples of consciousness and consciousness in emotional intelligence. So majority of people is absolutely unaware of their feelings and emotions, but you are not of them. You are here because you desire to expand. You are here because you no longer want to feel the way you felt most of your life. You are here because you have decided enough is enough. I'm done with the old, and I am going to do everything that's necessary to equip myself with spiritual tools, suggestions, support, and help so I can permanently shift the needle in the direction of you being in alignment with the frequency of your purpose work. You are not here because you have nothing else to do. You are here because you are highly dedicated to yourself. So start becoming super aware of how you think and how you feel. I think I shared enough of examples. There are people who go and also ask for help and support, but they're unaware how they feel. And they are very, very highly uncoachable. They are people who are believing that there is nothing wrong they're doing and they blame me outside. And I only work and talking to people over here, you including, who are believing that you are creating your reality, which means every single thought, feeling, and emotion, and everything you're experiencing is created by you, good or bad, pretty or ugly, horrible or not. It is our perception of everything and anything that creates our reality. So take a full-on responsibility for everything that you feel, think, and experience, and become more and more aware what's happening inside of you, and gift yourself the gift of time and working through that stuff, because your whole life, the life you dream about, waits for you to cross that river of change. We cannot create a new reality from an old energy. You already know that. And this is a whole another level. So if you cannot create a reality from your old energy, you better change your energy. You better put all of your time, attention, money, love, focus into changing your energy. And that doesn't happen by, let me surround myself only with positive people. No, you create positive people or negative people in your life. So change the perception of everyone and everything, including yourself. And this is what we do here. We are taking a radical responsibility for the results we have in our life and the results we crave and don't have. And we are changing that because we are empowered women. We choose to be and stay empowered, and we go forth. Okay, how to start expanding your emotional intelligence? I think I've just started talking about and touching on it. And healing emotionally starts with your nervous system regulation. So how to start expanding your emotional intelligence? It's what I said in the last 5 minutes, expanding that giant awareness, which is slowing down and pausing a little bit more and shifting. This is huge. Using your breath to slow down, deeper, slower breaths consciously throughout the whole day, and starting more feeling and sensing instead of thinking. Okay. As soon as you think you have a thought, go and shift as much as that is possible throughout your day. Go and shift into your internal state. Now, a lot of people get trapped into being hooked on the story behind the emotion. Oh, I feel this emotion because my dad did this and that, and my mom never never protected me, and they go into this story behind it. Your job is only to become aware of how that stuff works through your body, what it tells you to do and think and act and blame and shame, and you just stay in the observant mode. So healing emotionally starts actually with your nervous system regulation. If you want to go deep and profoundly to the core of changing who you are feeling. I shifted from being depressed victim, deeply unworthy, unable to take responsibility for how I think and feel and act in my life, into becoming the exact opposite, fully and entirely responsible for my life, creating my life experience, creating the life beyond my wildest dreams. I became high on life, high on my breath, without ever again putting alcohol, substance, drugs, tobacco, smoking, nothing into my system. Becoming super healthy, moving my body every single day, running, yoga, dancing, stretching. Oh my goodness, weightlifting. All of that stuff is something that creates a beautiful, lasting results for my future. I created a worldwide community. I created Soul Mission Movement, which is an activation home-based community for a purpose-driven women. This is just absolutely blows my mind that I'm creating a safe, beautiful, very high frequency space for the women who take radical responsibility for how they think and feel and what they create in their life. So all of that starts with actually going into the nervous system. So you are at the core, in the central part of your brain, which is a reptilian brain. It's like an animal brain. When someone bangs into your door and tries to break into your home, you're not gonna think first. You also are not gonna feel emotions first. The first thing you will do is you're gonna turn on a survival mode, and you're going to either freeze, fight, or run, right? So you're not gonna be thinking what to do. You're gonna automatically, that stuff is automatically triggered without you being aware of it. It's unconscious. It's normal. It's a human nature and also animal nature, okay? So, and that's nervous system. That's nervous system. So either you are becoming frozen, you just freeze. Like some animals, they pretend they're frozen, they're dead, right? Until the predator is gonna go away, okay? Other people, they fight. They fight. I'm gonna beat the shit out of that person unconsciously. The first thing is fight. Other people are gonna just run as fast as I can. After that response or reaction is triggered and it's active, then the person is actually feeling that emotion, okay? Whether they're feeling fear or they're feeling courage, I'm gonna fight them, or they're feeling terrified, run away, okay? And after that, it comes any thought into their mind. Also, lots of people get addicted to that because it clears them from that obsessive, consistent, low frequency thinking, okay? And then they're gonna actually think, oh, wow, I should stay here pretending frozen for as long as it can. Or, okay, I'm gonna fight them now the other way. Now I'm gonna attack them from that side. Or they're thinking, I better run 3 times faster than usually to make sure I'm gonna survive, okay? So, and then after that, they're going like, oh my God, what actually happens, right? What the heck actually happened? Now, animal in the nature, right after that happened, right after they are safe, the first thing they're gonna do, they're gonna start breathing very deeply into their belly to release the trauma, bring as much minerals as possible, because in survival state, you don't breathe properly. Now, look at 99% of population, no one breathes deeply. Everyone is in survival, over 99% of people. So the first reaction to restore the nervous system to regulate is deep breath. Then after that, it is shaking, releasing the stress out of it. Ducks in the pond, they quack, 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 quack. They get a fight because of the space, someone intruded. The first thing to do when they're releasing, they're flapping and releasing the stress. Our puppies, they play fight all the time. They play fight all the time, strengthening their muscles. That's what they do. When they crossing each other's boundaries, because both of them, they're trying to be alpha, when they're crossing the boundaries, they will never move on without shaking it all, especially when they got a little puppy fight. They will never just walk away or freeze and stay there. They're always shaking it off with deep belly breathing. The same it is with any other animal. So if you truly desire to go into the core of releasing your all trapped emotions within your body and systems, you've got to start with nervous system regulation, which is a deep, profound restoration of your nervous system. The best way that I have discovered after doing it for so many years in many different ways is a deep somatic breathwork practices that create a beautiful, where there is a facilitation of a space in which the person is guided into releasing those old emotions out of their body through deep, deep, deep belly breathing, through an open mouth or through the nose in the relaxation, and then restoration of sympathetic nervous system, which is learning actually how to relax, learning how to actually feel safe, learning how to actually breathe in more love and gratitude into their body than ever before. So I teach that exactly inside of Reset and Rise Up program, which is a full-on nervous system reset, restoration, and healing program that goes all in depth and gives you all of the tools possible. I will also give you opportunity to dive and equip yourself with those tools if this is what your heart desires and guides you to, okay? So it truly starts with your nervous system regulation, because that's how you create space in your body. This is where the contraction throughout your whole life of not feeling some emotions, not releasing them, this is when we're releasing them. And now, when you release the old emotions or frequencies, now you create actually space in your body to think in a higher way. When you know now, and I teach that in Reset and Rise Up, then you replace that old emotion with a new higher way of thinking, and it comes to you later with time naturally, because when you're trapped in survival, you cannot think above it. That's what Dr. Joe Dispenza is teaching.